Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, but I finally decided to start uploading again, and my friends kind of encouraged me to do it, so here I am. So first video back, and I just want to say hopefully I will start uploading more. But I'm not gonna promise any like schedule or anything because things are kind of crazy right now, and I don't really know when I'll be able to film and when I'll be able to upload and all of that. So I'm just gonna upload when I can upload. But yeah, just stay tuned. I have a lot of cool ideas I want to do, so yeah. Alright, so today's video I'm going to show you guys how I do my full face of foundation. I have really dry skin, so some of the things I do and the look that I really go for might not work if you have oily skin, but the techniques, I guess, still can be applicable to the products you use. I obviously don't wear a full face of foundation every day, but when I do, this is definitely my go-to technique. These are my go-to products, and everything will be linked down below. So let's just head on into it. Oh, before I start, please like the video and subscribe. I know I haven't uploaded in like 2 years, but I really want to start getting into it more, so please subscribe. And yeah, let's just go into it. So, first things first, I always like to clean, exfoliate, and do my skincare before anytime I do my foundation. So the reason why I exfoliate is to just get the dead skin off, and it gives you a smoother surface to work with. I always moisturize my skin. Again, I have really dry skin, so I really need that moisture, but your prep should be what you usually do on a normal basis. If you don't exfoliate your face, I would kind of recommend to just try it out to see if it helps lay your foundation on smoother, but up to you. So after my skincare is on, and it already is, my skincare is on, I like to put on this like cute little cat headband just to like get my hair out of my face. So it really helps me like get the foundation like all the way up to my hairline and make sure I didn't miss any spots or anything. It really helps to just get the hair out of your face and make sure you blend your foundation all the way up to your hairline, because you don't really want to see like your foundation stop here and then your skin and then your hair. That's not a cute look, so always make sure you get your hair out of your face. Now, after I do all that, I use primer. I know not everyone uses primer, not everyone thinks primer works, but I am a primer person. So the first type of primer I like to use is a pore filling one. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I literally just take it on my ring fingers, and I like to target this area right here, just because those are where my pores are the biggest. Thankfully, I don't really have like huge pores everywhere, but I just like lightly tap it in. I feel like a tapping motion helps more with getting the product in your pores and laying it evenly than like swiping it on. So I really like this, super cheap. Yeah. Next is I use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is a, I guess, illuminating or dewy primer. I have really dry skin and I really enjoy a dewy, fresh look. So if you like a matte look, I would say skip this step. But if you want a more dewy, fresh kind of look to your foundation, definitely use a primer like this. You don't have to use the Becca one. This is just one of my favorites. But I know Wet n Wild has one, Cover FX has a good one. Just look around. Even e.l.f. has some good illuminating primers. But this really just helps give me like a dewy, fresh look. Okay, there is that. And sorry if I'm like looking over to this side right here. All my stuff is right here, so yeah. Next, I like to go in, if I'm not doing a heavy eye look, then I like to do my face first. But if my eye look is really dramatic and like there's going to be fallout, I always do my foundation last, but that is up to you. It's a personal choice. So I like to do concealer under my foundation. I know a lot of people, when they do their full face, they like to do concealer on top because it gives you more of like a brightening look under your eye and it's more glam. My full face, I really like to make it look like my skin. So I don't really like to do like the full glam look. That's just my personal preference. So I like to put my concealer under my foundation. I use 3 different types of concealers. I know, kind of crazy. But the first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. The second one is this e.l.f. concealer. I think it's the hydrating concealer. It's not the camo concealer. I don't really like the camo concealer. It comes in this kind of tube. Again, everything will be linked down below, but yeah. The third one is the Becca Light Shifter Brightening Concealer. Again, if you don't like a dewy look, skip this step, but I just purchased this like 2 weeks ago and I love this. Like, this is, the hype is real, guys. Like, this is really pretty. So for tools, I don't usually use a brush. I like to use sponges. So I have the Junko fuzzy sponges. I got these off of Amazon. They're really inexpensive, and the kit that I bought came with a small one, a little tiny one, and it also came with a huge one. So I already wet these. They're good to go. Now, concealer. I like to take the Wet n Wild one, and I kind of just concentrate it right here. So as you can see, I just concentrate it right there, and then I take the e.l.f. concealer, and let's do this. I do one eye at a time just because I don't like to let my concealer just sit there. Now on to the next eye. Same thing. I take the same e.l.f. concealer and I just like to hit my chin and forehead. Chin, forehead. The e.l.f. concealer is it's like more close to my natural skin tone, and the Wet n Wild one is a little bit lighter. I would say like a shade or 2 lighter, so you still get that illuminating effect. So now that we have those 2 concealers on there, after that I like to go in with the Becca Light Shifter Concealer. Now, the reason I do this under my foundation, because I know if you guys have seen the promo videos, they all do it above their foundation. I do it under because this thing is super, super dewy, and it looks really weird when I put it over my foundation. That might just be because the foundation I use is a satin finish and not like a dewy finish. But I just think it looks better with me putting this under my foundation. So I just kind of dab this on in a little triangle. Sorry if you see something black. I'm using the mirror in this palette. So I just do triangles, pat it on, and then I do a little bit on my forehead and a little bit on my chin, and a little bit on my nose, like really little. So now we're done with that. take the same sponge and just blend it out. I really like these Juno Co sponges. I don't know if it's just me, like, I don't know if I'm like making this up or not, but I really do feel like with the sponge, I use less product than I did with my Beauty Blender or my Real Techniques brush or sponge. But that could just be me. So, yeah. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but it gives like a nice illuminating look. Okay, next is foundation. I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I'm in the shade Cream Beige. I love this foundation. This stays on for so long. It's pretty medium coverage, but it's still buildable. This is like my holy grail foundation. I do have a lighter shade of this, but right now I am the more tan shade. And also sometimes I do mix this foundation with my moisturizer, which is just the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Rescue, the little pink one. So I just take some on the spatula that comes with it. Just swipe it all over. I took on the perimeter, so like where we didn't put the foundation or the concealer. And don't worry, I'm gonna be getting my neck. I just like to do my face first and then my neck. So taking the big sponge, I like to use the bottom, the flat side. Okay, so that's my foundation and concealer on. Now, I don't use powder, I don't bake, I don't do any of that because, again, I have really, really dry skin. Baking makes me look so crusty that it's just not my thing. I also don't put any powder on because I personally don't need it. So yeah, so this is the full foundation and concealer, but I'm just going to show you guys how I contour, highlight, blush, all that too. For contour, I use the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. I've had this for so long. I only use like the light and medium shade. I don't really use the top shades. I only use these two right here. And I like really bronzed look, so I mix my contour and bronzer together. And I use the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. And to contour and stuff, I use the Morphe M405 brush. It's just like a fluffy contour brush. Yeah, it's really dirty, I know. I need to clean all my brushes and stuff, but I'll do it later. So just tap into the light shade and then tap into the bronzer and then kind of just flick it off. A good tip is to always like constantly be like moving. It helps get a better blend, because if you just stay in that one spot for a while, then the product will be so concentrated in that spot, and then when you try to blend it everywhere else, it's just not gonna work. So now for my jawline, I like to use the medium shade because, oh girl, we need to cut that jawline. And I don't pick up any bronzer when I cut my jawline. So again, just light, circular motions. You don't want to press too hard. You don't want to stay in one spot for too long. This is an extra step, but sometimes I like to have an even more bronze look. So I take another bronzer. I take the Hoola bronzer, classic. I take a little bit on a more fluffier brush like this, and I kind of pick up a little, tap off the excess, and I really just perimeters of my face, like like lightly just blend it everywhere. I definitely like to do this in like the summer, springtime, because like I think it just makes your skin look so pretty. So like you were in like Miami, like you just came back from a vacation, which I was supposed to go to, but I couldn't. So, but no harm in looking like you came back from vacation and overnight. So, yeah, really light dusting. Like you don't want to put on heaps of bronzer because that's just gonna make you look orange, and no one wants that, sis. So, now, last two steps: blush and highlighter. Use whatever blush and stuff you want. This is just one I've been using a lot recently, and it's the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Quarters. I don't think it's gonna pick up, but it's in the shade Quarters. It's just a really pretty like pinky apricot blush. I'm not good with colors, so. And I just kind of take it on a brush like this. It's kind of fluffy, kind of dense. I try to make sure I focus a good bit of the product like on the apples. So this area right here. Now for highlighter. I love highlighter. My go-to is this Ofra highlighter palette. I'm using Rodeo Drive in the Ofra palette. I'm using it on a fan brush. And I'm just gonna lightly sweep it. You don't wanna, for blush, contour, and highlight, I don't put a ton of pressure on my skin. Like I'm not digging the brush into my face. The reason why I do that is, I just feel like if you press the brush into your skin, it doesn't give you a good blend. And I don't like to have a streak of highlighter on my face. Like I like it to look really natural. Alright guys, I just decided to put on some lipstick and eyeliner just so I look a little more put together. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is how I do my full face look whenever I do a full face look. If you guys have any suggestions, please comment them down below. Sorry this video is high-key a mess. I'm trying to get back into this whole YouTube thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. All the products I use will be listed down below with links if you guys would like to purchase it. And yeah, I'm gonna plan on making a whole lot of content this year and hopefully get better at this. And if you guys have any suggestions on how I can improve my videos and anything like that, please let me know down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye!